Ready? Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, welcome to Momsense. My name is Kyleigh.
And I'm Kambria.
It is 2025.
Woo.
So today, because New Year, New Me is such a big thing, we're going to talk about New Year, same me, same parent.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Every day is different, but doing the same things that we were before. We're talking about everybody. In the new year, you start to create new habits and healthy things and New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about the things that we do as moms that
You shouldn't.
you shouldn't do. But you know what? We do them because
okay.
that is what works for us. And that's what keeps our households running and keeps us sane.
And you said sane?
Sane.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, sane. Yeah.
Because there are days that I'm like, I'm going to pull my hair out if this kid does not go to sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So wait, right now, stop what you're doing. Go subscribe to our new channel.
Yes.
Super excited. Kyleigh and I have so much planned for this year. Y'all just wait. It's going to be a good year.
We're excited.
What keeps us sane?
So, texting Cam, we obviously haven't seen any of us, in like 3 weeks. So we were texting back and forth of what are we going to talk about today? And I said, let's talk about bad habits because I'm currently rocking the bad habit life.
Oh, same.
Xander is a year old, just over a year, 13 months. And I still rock him to sleep almost every single night. So talk about
Dependency.
Not teaching him independent sleeping, which I know is oh my God, it's a no-no as a mom. You put your baby in the crib and you let them cry and they'll fall asleep eventually, which, yeah.
See, that's the only thing I probably actually do follow, but because I need my sleep and time with my husband.
I should. I have gotten to the point where, depending on the night,
Yeah.
I will do that. Or so what our kind of routine is we do dinner time, we do bath time. He still gets a bottle, about like 4 ounces, which he doesn't really take bottles throughout the day, but he gets one for bed. And so we'll go into mom and dad's bed, lay down with a bottle and just relax, just chill. Let's just wind down. And so he gets to a point where he's done with the bottle, he tosses the bottle, and he will crawl up me and lay down. And so I'll just...
And you're like, you love
him, right? There are nights that he does not do the crawl up me, lay down, pat to sleep. There are nights that he tosses that bottle and he said 7. He's like, hi.
You're like, no, sir.
No. But he is so visibly tired because he can't hold his head up. He'll sit up and then he lays down.
Oh,
and then he sits up.
Rough day.
And then he lays down. And I'm like, okay, you're tired. On those nights, that's when I will, okay, I'm going to take you to your bed, lay you in your crib. I will let you cry for 10 minutes max. After that 10 minutes, I'm coming in there.
Yeah.
Or if I lay you down and you are standing at the crib screaming, shaking the crib, I am going to come get you because I know you're not going to sleep doing that.
Yeah, no.
So that's one of my bad habits.
So one of mine, which it's so funny because you're a different parent with every child.
Yeah.
And so now, I have Kinsey, then I had Jet, and then Oakley. So with Kinsey, I was like, oh my gosh, bottle must be gone at a year old. Pacifier must be gone at a year old. Nothing in your bed, like all of the things that you've learned.
I'm a bad mom, Cam.
Your schedule should just be perfect and everything looks like it came straight from the book of how your life is, right? So with Jet, I was pretty much the same, but obviously different with Justin because Justin loved to rock Jet to bed. And I'm like, babe, you're starting a bad habit. You're starting a bad habit. Well, they sing Jesus Loves Me and pray every night together. And he doesn't rock him anymore. He's 4. But he does just like kind of hang out with him until he goes to bed.
Bedtime.
Well, let's talk about Oakley. That girl. I mean, me. They're like, you got to give the bottle up at a year. And I was like, I mean, but it's working for us. It's fine. We're all happy. We're all good.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that we were headed out of town and we're to the point of no return. And I'm like, Justin, I forgot Oakley's bottles. And he's like, okay, we'll just see where the closest Walmart is, Target, whatever, we'll stop. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, so that was not going to happen either. And so that's how Oakley got rid of bottles. Well, Oakley still has her paci. She has her 2 pacis. One is like hanging on by a limb, like the nubs. And I know I mean, so we had a video that went viral, 1.7 million views.
Oh my gosh.
Jet's apple cider vinegar video. If you haven't watched it.
Oh, yes. Of him taking the paci and tossing it.
And he's just so mad. It's on Justin's Facebook. But yeah, that one got 1.7 million views, but hilarious. But 1 year, I was like, we got to get rid of the paci. And so I'm like, Mom, what do? We got to do something. And I'm asking my mom, and my mom was watching him that day and does the apple cider vinegar thing. And sure enough, it worked. It worked. But I was like, absolutely no more paci.
Yeah.
We're 1 year old. Well, Oakley's now 18 months and she's got 2 pacis. And we go to the dentist Monday this week.
Yeah.
And the dentist is like, look, I know they say like you should get rid of pacis around 2, but her mouth is going to keep like crowning in if she's continuing to suck, and that's sometimes hard to fix and needs to be replaced with braces. Well, pretty much everyone has braces, whatever. But I text Justin, I'm like, Justin, we got to get rid of the paci. She still has the paci.
I got really lucky that Xander was not a paci baby.
Oh, yeah.
Funny enough, I was actually talking to one of my girlfriends today about this. Xander he took a paci a little bit when he was like itty bitty, like first month or so of life, right? Then he started sucking his thumb, and I was like, oh my God, I can't take his thumb away from him. What am I gonna do? And then it went from his thumb to his 2 fingers, and he did that for a little while. And I would say like 6 months ish. He's no longer.
Yeah.
No longer. He is particular about like. Now we're moving from bottles to sippy cups.
Oh yeah. Oh.
At nighttime we do a bottle.
Yeah.
But during the day it's a sippy. He is particular about the kind of sippy cup he gets.
Oakley is too.
Because I bought the cheap $1 sippy cups at Walmart, and he will not drink out of them.
That's funny.
The daycare is like, he won't drink these, but I have a different one that's like $6.
Yeah.
And he drinks out of that one. I'm like, of course, my son's bougie. Not really, but yeah, we got lucky on the paci thing.
So one of my bad habits with Kinsey, this may be a little bit of advice, bad habit, mixture of the two. So before Jet and Oakley were born, we were always doing something. Like we would be at shenanigans, or we would, always something. And Kinsey'd be like, what are we going to do today? And Justin would be like, what's fun happening today? And, we'd take Kinsey and go have fun. Then COVID happens. Then we have Jet. And as everything started getting back to normal, I mean, Justin is a go, go, go person. Mm-hmm. He wants to do all the fun things.
Yeah.
And then they started going. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about us? Like, hold up. Me and Jet back here, we want to do something too. And, we came to the realization that we can't set that expectation for her. And we also need to tell her no. And that's a really hard habit to break because, I mean, when she's like, Mom, can you take me to Urban Air? It's like, yeah. But then it's also like, whoa, $20 and you want me to take all of your friends? Like, I can't do that. Like,
yeah.
No. And it's, our economy right now obviously is not the most fabulous, but it's one of those things. It's like, I mean, sure, we can do it. Is it smart? No. Should I keep setting this expectation for myself? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to be more of a no parent, but also being the cool parent.
That's a balance.
It's hard. And I mean, when it was, about to snow, Kenzie asked, she's like, can my friends come over? And I'm like, absolutely. Who cares? I want to be the fun house. I want to be the cool house. I mean, right now, half of our house is packed up. I sold our kitchen table.
Yeah.
So I got like a white folding table, like a ghetto party one. It's, oh man, it's hilarious. I'll have to show you a picture.
I call it a garage sale table.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it is a garage sale table. But yeah, I got one of those as my kitchen table.
That works.
And I'm just like, if you're not embarrassed, Kenzie, your friends, absolutely. You can come over. And she's just like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, as she gets older and as the kids get older, I really do need to work on no, or just like, that's not in the cards for us. Because, I mean, whether you can afford it or you can't afford it, even if it's as simple as going to the park, you got to tell your kids no at some point.
Yeah. Set some healthy expectation that they don't get everything that they want in life.
Yeah.
Because you don't. Another, this also revolves around sleep. Another bad habit moms are like, oh my gosh, you do this? Is I don't have a schedule for Xander.
Really?
No.
You're so brave.
Well, I think about me as an adult, as a person, is like, if I'm tired, I'm tired. If I need a nap, I need a nap. If Xander needs a nap, he needs a nap. Now, I do have some caveat to that of like, if it's 5 or 6 o'clock, we're not napping.
Yeah, no.
Because you're this close to bedtime. We're not napping.
Yeah.
But if it's, you took a nap at 11 and now it's 2 and you want another nap, okay. Exactly. I'm not going to tell you no. I'm also not going to force you to go down for a nap. If you aren't crying, if you're not screaming, if you're not in a bad mood, if you're playing and you're happy, I'm not going to say, it's 11 o'clock, nap time. Yeah. Like, if you're not tired, not tired. Because there are times that I'm like, I'm not tired.
That's funny.
So I try to have a healthy expectation. And same thing whenever it comes to like meals. If we sit down at lunch and he's not hungry, I'm not going to be like, you have to eat all, like, happy plate, right?
No,
Xander's a good eater, and so I don't ever have to worry about it. But if there's one meal that in particular he doesn't eat great, and then a little while later he's hungry again, I'm not going to tell him, hey, you can't eat, because there are times that I sit down and I'm working, right? And it's 10 o'clock and I'm like, man, I'm starving.
Yeah.
And then there are other times that I look up and it's 2 o'clock and I'm like, wow, where's the day gone? I'm still not hungry. Do I just wait and have wait until I have dinner? So
that's a good point.
I am kind of not a like hardcore schedule person. And even we were talking about this at work today. We're talking about bedtime. Does Xander have a bedtime? No, not really. Depending on what time he naps will dictate his bedtime. Now, if we're rolling into 9, 10 o'clock and he is not asleep yet, there is something wrong. But like between 7:30 and 9 o'clock, I would say, is when he goes to sleep. But if he goes to sleep at 7:30, he's waking up at 5:30.
Oh, see, my kids are sleeping.
If he goes to sleep at 9, he'll sleep until 7. So I'm like, but here's the hard part is I don't get anything done until he goes to sleep because he is such a busybody. There is no way for me to do something like cook or meal prep or pack his bag or whatever while he's awake because I can't do that and keep my eyes on him.
That's why I have to be so strict about a schedule. But
so if he goes to sleep at 9, I'm up until 11 o'clock because I'm doing those things. I still have to get myself ready for the next day and my laundry needs to be put away and whatever else. But I am not strict about a schedule because, again, I myself, I'm like, I'm a human. I have every day is different for me. So every day is going to be different for you. Why would I force you to do something that you're not at?
The sleep, I can't hop on board with that. Y'all got to go to bed at 8. Y'all got to just go to bed. But the eating thing, that for me, I'm really struggling with. This is a bad habit that I have. So if the kids don't eat their food at the table, Oakley in her high chair, I put it on their little kiddie table because then they can come graze when they are hungry.
Yeah.
However, we're going to be moving soon. And I told Justin, I said, I have to stop doing this. They get food everywhere. And I'm just constantly cleaning
it.
And then they're just like walking around like their greasy little hands on the walls and everything. And
like Xander sits in his seat when he's eating.
And I'm like, Justin, we have to make him. We have to just, rules are rules. And he's like, we're not having a museum house. Like, they can be kids. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep cleaning up after them, especially not whenever, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, constant.
Yeah. And so that's my bad habit. But I'm like, sometimes I know that Oakley's actually getting, like, protein and, good carbs because she is walking around literally gnawing on, like, grilled chicken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you go, girl. But she doesn't want to eat it if she's sitting down.
Yeah. And maybe we'll get to a phase where Xander doesn't want to sit in his seat and he wants to be up and he's walking around the chicken wing. You do you, boo. If you're eating, we'll figure it out. Xander we are very, like, he sits in his seat when he eats because he's a messy eater. He's a boy, all boy, 100% boy.
Oh, Oakley is too, though. She's, ooh.
God, he's messy. Trying to think what else. What else am I like? Ooh, probably shouldn't do that.
I don't make my kids wear clothes unless they just have to.
I do put clothes on Xander for the most part.
Yeah, but I'm the same way. Like, my favorite days, my best days, my most productive days are days where I'm in pajamas from morning until night. And it's even, I'll pick her up from school and she's like, Mom, you're still in your pajamas. And I'm like, yeah, but I'll put my nighttime pajamas on, like, my next pajamas.
I will. There is something for me about getting up and getting ready for the day that makes me feel better about my day.
I think if I needed to go into an office, I would probably feel that way.
One of the girls at work was like, girl, you've got a fashion show going on this week. And I said, well, that's because last week I slummed it all week. So I need to feel better about myself by dressing up. Yeah. But there is something to me about like in the morning, even if it's getting out of these pajamas and into a different pair of pajamas or like just lounging clothes, I do get up, I change my clothes, like do something with it, like brush my hair, put it up, whatever. Yeah. I do something with myself in the morning. And so I do the same thing for Xander. We get up, change his diaper, and if it's out of pajamas and into comfies, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
But we do have some form of a changer outfit.
So almost every picture that I have of Jet and Oakley up until recently, like every oh my gosh, this is a cute picture, but I'm not going to post it on Facebook picture, they're just in a diaper or hardly even in a diaper.
Like there are times I absolutely just let Xander
but I'm like, man, you know what? If you don't wear clothes today, I don't have to do laundry. When? Just kidding. Not really. But here recently, Oakley started taking off her diaper.
That's why you need to put clothes on her.
So now she got to wear pajamas every night, or else I'll wake up and she'll just be holding it like whenever like it's
Xander like grabs at the straps and like, don't touch them.
We do not.
Also, Xander's at that age where he's realizing there's something down there. And I'm like, don't touch your TT.
Yeah. Or when they accidentally pee. Oakley was standing waiting to get into the bath and she accidentally peed. And she's like, what just happened? What just happened?
The air is touching it. Oh, these kids.
Being a mom is so fun.
These kids. Oh my gosh. So Xander, if you follow this podcast, you know my kid's sick all the time. So Xander had, the flu last week and an ear infection. So poor kid. But there was one day I was like, Brady, 5 minutes. Please take him for 5 minutes so I can go take a shower. I need to wash off the last 4 days because I haven't showered. Mm-hmm. And so I showered. I'm in the kitchen, like doing the dishes or something. And all of a sudden I hear plunk, and I hear Xander. Ah! I walk in there and like his whole forehead.
Oh, no.
He dove off of his nugget couch and tried to dive into, we have this like round metal basket, which is no longer in his room now. Yeah. Round metal basket that had like all of his stuffed animals in it. Dive off of his nugget couch into the basket. And like he literally has the marks of the wiring on his forehead. Y'all. That's probably also one of my bad habits. It's like I'm that mom that's like rub some dirt on it.
Oh, me too.
You're okay, buddy.
If the food falls on the floor, I'm just pick it up.
5-second rule.
Like whatever.
Me, 100%. I'm like, don't waste that. Or the dogs are gonna get it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. If we had a dog, the food
we got two, so it is licked clean. Don't worry.
Yeah, but that's on me because I'm like, we don't have time for a dog. We are on the road way too much.
So. I did tell Brady, I was like, once these dogs go.
All dogs go.
We are on a no dog kick because man, we travel too much. We do too much
It's hard.
It's expensive. I mean,
it is expensive.
To pay for a dog sitter. We pay for a dog sitter a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another one of my bad habits, especially here lately. Oh, it's so bad. And I shouldn't admit this, but I'm gonna admit
we listen and we don't judge. That's what they're right.
Jeez. So going back to I have 3 kids, and with Kinsey, I told Kinsey no, and like no meant no. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she was such a good listener. She just, that A+ student, but like in, toddler form. Awesome kid. Great behavior.
That's funny.
Sometimes I'll just be like, Jet, stop doing that. And then he just keeps doing it. And I'm just like,
is it that big of a battle that I really want to fight it?
Hey, stop doing that. And then like, I'm like, I give up. Like, I'm just, is it really worth it? And it could just be as simple as like dumping all of his toys out. Like,
Right.
yeah, no, we don't do that. And then he continues to do it. And then I'm like, well, at least I make him pick them all up.
Yeah.
Like, and then now with Oakley, I feel like, man, maybe it's age. Maybe
I'm tired. Mama's tired.
maybe I'm just tired. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, poor Kenzie. She had that like strict, mean mom.
It's the first child. Mm-hmm. It's the first child because that's me.
And then now I'm just like,
my parents were strict. Also, I was a good kid, so there's that. Both my brothers do whatever they so please.
yeah. It'd be like that sometimes.
It do be like that. Mm-hmm. It do be like that.
But yeah, when Oakley is 12, because Kenzie's 12, Kenzie's going to be like, Mom, you would never. Like all of the things that are going to happen in the future, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and it's one of those things also that like you grow personally in age and think like, it's actually not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It's not a game changer. They're having fun. He's dumping his toys out. Whatever. Yeah, he needs to mind, but he's not going to act like that when he's 20,
Yeah. There are so many things that even now I'm like, man, why did I even get onto him for that?
Like
Xander, don't pull, because he will stand up at his bookshelf and pull every single book off. And initially I was like, dude, really? Don't do that. Yeah. And I went where I was like, he pulls all the books out and then he sits and he opens every book and reads. I mean, he obviously doesn't read it, but he's like flipping through the pages, right? Read the book. And so I'm like, it's honestly a healthy thing.
Yeah.
So why am I concerned about him pulling the books out of the bookshelf?
Yeah.
Because...
And it's silly. That's what that you have. You're like,
that's what they're there for. Is for him to play with them and explore and learn and be excited about the books or the cars or the blocks or whatever. And you know what? When we're all done playing, he doesn't quite understand that he has to pick up the toys yet.
You'll get them.
But we always pick up all of our toys before we leave the room. And I'm like, one of these days he's gonna catch on that Mommy does it, so Xander's gonna start doing it, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna see it and want to mimic it, right? Please God.
I know, right?
But we pick up all of our toys before we leave the room, and then when we go to the room, we turn off the lights and close the door and go on to the next thing, whatever that next thing is. And so there are things now that I'm like, why did it matter? Yeah.
So I have a bad habit. I personally said I would never be like my parents. And I was going to have a messy house and my kids weren't going to, they were going to just get to have fun and be free. I said, I don't even care. Well, look at me caring about everything. And one thing I do every day, I make my bed every day. It's very important to me. That's my first accomplishment. I did something. Justin doesn't agree with it.
I don't agree with you either. I mean, I will say this. I do make my bed at the end of the day. Before I get into it at night.
That's funny.
I make it.
But so, I make my bed every day. I'm constantly picking up almost to a fault. I need to be better about that. And I'm trying to instill the habit in the kids, like, okay, once we're done playing with Magna tiles, then you can go get Legos. It's not working so well for me right now, but just okay. For me, it's fine.
It's okay.
But
you say it enough times and it'll happen.
So here recently, Jet wakes up in the morning and he'll just be like, Mommy! And I'm like, oh, gee, like, what's going on? Something is obviously wrong. So the first time it happened, I run into his room. And he's like, I'm trying to make my bed and it's not making. And
it's not making.
I'm like, why are you trying to make your bed? Like, Kenzie has to make her bed, but she's 12. Like, she knows the rules. We make our bed in this house. Jet's trying to make the bed, but obviously he's on the blanket while he's trying to pull it, like, over. And he's like, it's not making, Mommy. And my blanket's not folding. And I'm like, oh, he's doing the me. And that, I'm glad, but, like, then I'm like, you're only 4. And they need to see less of that of me. You know what I mean? I
do think that that is still a really healthy habit, because that's not something that was, like, enforced in my household growing up, was to make our beds. But I think it's really healthy to, like, we have a bedtime routine. We should have a morning routine as well, right?
Yeah.
And so if that means getting up and making your bed sets your day, especially because they're home. They aren't getting up and leaving and going to school, right? I think if he was jumping up and going to school and there was, like, chaos and him trying to then I'd be like, yeah, that's probably a lot to ask of a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's getting up whenever he wakes up, whatever time that so be it. And then he gets his day started by making his bed like his mommy does. I think that's a healthy habit.
Good, because I was feeling real guilty. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm making them me. Oh no. And Justin's like, that's you.
I think if he gets to a point where like
it's stressing him out.
Or he starts to become OCD about, oh my gosh, Oakley, you can't touch that because it needs to be clean.
Oh.
Then I would be like,
yeah. So he does say, Oakley, you can't mess with that. That's dangerous.
That's so funny.
It's dangerous. And
dangerous.
Then it's at this point she had one of his real tools and was trying to just like chew on a wrench, and we're like, no, yeah, that actually is dangerous. Don't do it. But so I was telling him,
he's so protective of her. It's so sweet.
Oh, I know. I was telling him. He said, "Mommy, what are these marshmallows? I want these marshmallows." It was a box of hot chocolate, and I said, "Oh, son, it's hot chocolate." And he was like, "Oh, why is it spicy?"
So spicy.
Are the marshmallows spicy too? And I was like, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I wasn't about to give him hot chocolate. I'm like, that's spicy.
The white lies we tell our children.
The white lies. We need one of those. We need an episode on that.
Oh. Yeah. I'm not quite at that age.
So Oakley then, I mean, the Swiss mix is like, knee level in the pantry, and Oakley gets it, and she's holding the box and shaking the box because she breaks into the pantry all the time and tries to get everything out of there.
That's funny.
And he says, "Oakley, you can't have that. It's spicy. It's spicy chocolate." I'm like, oh my gosh, how funny.
That's hilarious.
Being a mom's so cool.
It is.
I didn't even tell him, like, I just said it's hot chocolate. And he said, oh, hot, spicy.
Oh, that's funny. One of my favorite things, talking about this bad habit. So I went and got my nails done last night. And so when I got home, Xander was laying in bed with Brady, drinking his bottle. His baba. I'm like, bro, chill. It's coming. But he was drinking his bottle. And I walked in and Brady's like, oh. But Xander's eyes are obviously open.
Yeah.
But the second you talk to him or you make eye contact, game over.
Yep.
So anyways,
do it.
I got in bed and I laid down next to him. I just put my head next to him and I put my hand on his little belly. He grabbed my hand.
Oh.
And then he put it by his face. And I was like, ugh. These are the moments that I live for.
Oh, yeah.
So you can judge me as a parent all day long about putting my kid to sleep in my bed or rocking my kid to sleep. But the fact that he just wants to cuddle. And so he did that for a little while and then he tossed his bottle like he always does. He just chunks it. He sat up. And hi. And then he does this.
Oh,
he wants to be held.
Yeah.
So I picked him up and I cradled him and he laid there and he finally started to doze off after patting him. I'm like,
yeah, come on,
go to sleep.
Go to bed.
But he started to fall asleep, so I got up. I put him in his crib. He was still awake. I did it last night. He was still awake. I put him in his crib, and he settled within a minute. I mean, I don't even think I was all the way out of the bedroom before he was already fast asleep. But man,
those moments are the very best.
The best.
So I have to ask you now: do you have a mom win or fail?
What did I text you and say?
Oh, I texted you and said something too.
Hang on, I'm gonna go look.
I remember mine.
I don't remember mine. I gotta go look.
Okay, I can tell you mine. So, I had kids in my house from, I think it was December 15th up until last week. And then we got the snow and then I had all the kids back in my house, but I hadn't had any days without kids. The house was chaos, and it was so fun. But anyway, I hadn't had any silence or alone time or me time. And we're nearing the end of the break. And Oakley is just hitting Jet, just for no reason. And I was like, ugh. And I'm just at my breaking point. I'm like, ugh, Oakley, stop pissing your brother off.
Oh, yeah.
And then she keeps doing it. And Jet goes, Oakley, you're pissing me off. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, do not say that word. And then he, once again, is like, Mom, Oakley's pissing me off. I'm like, no. It's not the F word or the B word, but You're pissing me off. I'm like, we don't say that, bud.
I have a mom fail and a friend fail here. So talking about your kids repeating you. So some of our best friends, their son is he's almost 2. So he's talking.
Yeah.
And he's very much repeating things. And we were playing a card game the other night.
Oh.
And Brady said the F word.
Don't tell me that was his new favorite word. No, it was.
Until I turned around and said it. I was like,
Oh.
ooh.
Like Brady.
That's what I know. I was like, Brady, you did that. That's all you, man. So that was hilarious. Okay, so my mom fail was for New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Xander's school was open until 12. I rolled up to this daycare to drop my kid off, and there's not a light on
And you're
in
like
this
ready
building.
for work.
There's
like,
not. Yeah, I'm on my way to work. There's not a car at this place, and I was like, "What's happening?" So I did roll up to Xander's school to drop him off, and it was closed. And so my son came to work with me. So I failed on being prepared. Don't worry, MLK Day is on Monday, and I am.
Is it really? Oh,
Ready. School's closed. School's closed.
thank you for that.
You're welcome. Don't be like me. Don't be like me rolling up and being like, beep, beep. There's nobody here.
Well, I mean, it would be Kinsey, and she probably would know, but it would be me that would be like, oh, wait, like, what? Why aren't you getting ready? And
Yeah.
her be like,
You're so much nicer, Mom. I'd be like, son, why are you not up?
get up. Yeah.
Let's go.
Anyway, like we said,
Yep.
be sure to subscribe to our new channel.
Yes.
Stay on the lookout for lots more content, lots more fun.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yes. I'll put all of our tags. Mine, yours, ours.
Bam.
Did you like that?
I like
Mine,
that.
yours, ours. Ooh. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Momsense podcast. I'm Kambria.
And I'm Kyleigh.